This season on Oklahoma Gardening, we're kind of featuring a unique series. We're in fact going to work with the Robert M. Kerr Food and Agriculture Products Center to showcase how they help people take a raw product and turn it into a marketable product for the shelf. And so in order to do that, you know, I could do a simple segment on what that center is all about, but I thought it would be more fun to actually go through the process as a customer. And so this season, what we are going to do is we are going to grow some basil out at the OSU student farm and then actually work with them to turn our basil into a dry herb product. Now, it's pretty straightforward. Of course, you have seen us do segments about how to dry herbs, and it's not too complicated of a process, but really we wanted to do that so that we could see how to scale something up, because a lot of times, as you know, what seems like something simple, when you try to scale it up to a certain volume, it gets a little bit more complicated. So this season, you're going to see, as we are the customers going through this process with the Food Agriculture Products Center. But in order to do that, we first have to actually start our basil. So today we are here at the Greenhouse Learning Center on campus to start our basil as transplants indoors first, so that we can then transplant them later on in the season. Now, the basil we have selected for this process is a Genevieve series, and that's a pretty popular and common type of basil that's often used. But this particular one is actually called Noga Prospera. We selected this one because it is very good for field-grown situations, which is what we'll be doing out at the OSU student farm, and also because it has high resistance to downy mildew and also fusarium wilt. So those are two important things that can affect your plant, obviously, and also the vegetation, which is what we're after. The other aspect that we really liked about this particular type of basil is the fact that it also has tall, uniform, rapid growth. And so, of course, again, we're after the vegetation, and so having uniform, rapid growth that is high up off the ground is going to make it more abundant and easier to harvest later on in the season. Now, this particular one has about a harvest date of 68 days. So we're going to go ahead and get these plants started in the greenhouse. So we're doing this mid-March, which basically is just going to give us a head start. So we will put these out in the garden around mid to late April, after we're no longer concerned about freeze damage on these plants. But really, it's going to give us about a 4-week head start on that 10-week harvest date. So here we have some cells that we're going to fill up. And basically, this is just something you can use whatever sort of cells you have. These are just some that we like to use here. And the nice thing about them is they're kind of angled at the bottom. So later on, when we're transplanting them, they easily slip out. So we are going to plant a couple of hundred of these basil seeds, actually, because we are going to plant a full row that's about 250 feet long. And we're actually going to do a double row down that length. So we're looking at about 300 seeds because we're going to plant them on an 18-inch center. So we want to make sure that we have plenty of transplants, and we'll just get these started. I'm going to go ahead and make just the most minor little divot here, because if you look at these seeds, they're very, very small. So we got this package. This is actually a ½ ounce of seeds. As I sprinkle these out on my hands, you can see how tiny these seeds are. And we're just going to put maybe 1 to 2 seeds in each little cell. We have plenty of seeds. ½ ounce costs about $16. And actually, there are over 9,000 seeds in this little pack. So again, that tells you how small they are. We have plenty of seeds to go around, so I'm not concerned about that. So I'm just, and because they are so small, we barely want to bury them. Again, the general rule with planting seeds is to plant them about 2.5 times the diameter of the seeds. That's how deep you want to plant it. So these are almost immeasurable. So we're just barely going to put them on there, and you can almost just tap them on the surface there. So as we continue this, the other thing after we get this all planted is we're going to put this on a mist bench, because that's critical. You want to make sure to maintain that moisture on there. We fortunately have a greenhouse here that we're going to put them in to get them germinated, and they should be up in no time at all. We hope you enjoyed this video as part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on the OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.